I noticed a lot of you guys were beginners still and didn't even know where to start. So I have something for you guys. This book! Woo! I have this book to recommend. It's called Korean Grammar for Speaking. It's by Mr. Song-won. And the author was kind enough to actually send this book to me to take a look at it and review it for you guys. The beginning is great because if you don't even know how to read Hangul, Korean, there's a whole section in the beginning where it teaches you how to read the characters, how to write the characters. It provides a lot of exercises for you to practice over and over again for you to get really familiar with it. And each unit introduces a new grammar point, and it lays it out very simply and provides a lot of exercises for you to practice that grammar point. It's very easy to go through. You know, the text is very friendly to the eye. A lot of the examples are very practical and easy to follow. There's a glossary at the back of vocab, and you can also take a final test at the end. And there's also an answer key to check all of your answers from the exercises. Another good thing about this book is that it's very new. It was just published this year, 2016. So the examples in here are going to be very updated, very practical for everyday use in natural Korean conversations. Also, what I like, in the very beginning of the book, before you even start, there's this list that says how to study languages. And it just offers some very encouraging words for you before you start actually learning Korean, and I agree with each of these things. And it just feels very genuine. I feel like the author is really trying to help the learner with Korean. Unlike, you know, some books are very super academic and feels like very overwhelming. Whereas this book, it does feel very sincere, very genuine. So in this book, I didn't actually do all of the exercises because my level is higher than this book. This book is good for beginners to pre-intermediates. I knew pretty much all of the grammar points that were in this book already, but what I like about going through different books is that I'm still able to learn some new words or some new things that I hadn't learned in previous books. So what I did was I put in post-its and I highlighted new words that I hadn't learned before. In the back there's also a diary where you can write notes or whatever you want to write. The only downside of this book is that since it is a newly published book just this year, there are quite a few mistakes, just like typos and things like that. But the author already took care of that for you, and in the book he includes this very sincere letter where he tells you all the mistakes that are in the book. It would be best if before you start the book, make sure you mark the number in the book that has the mistake. Mark it, you know, and so that you remember to check this little cheat sheet of little typos and mistakes. That way you're not learning the wrong thing. But you know, it's understandable. This book is very new. The author is constantly working to improve it. I will put the link to get this book down in the description box below, so make sure to check it out. And there's also an accompanying YouTube channel to this book where you can learn with free Korean videos, and I will also put that down in the description box below. Yeah, so that's one tip that I have, is get books. Once you finish one workbook, get another one. You gotta hit the books. You can't only learn from, you know, music and dramas and things. You really have to utilize those resources that you have, such as books, the internet, and things like that, in order to broaden your scope and knowledge of the language. You can learn something in one book, and then in another book you'll learn some more things, and even though this book was below my level, I was still able to learn some new things from it. So get books, guys. Books are good for the brain. Okay. Yes. Next tip I have, make flashcards. This is what I do. Okay, look. See this ring? Get one of these rings. Okay, I'm gonna take it out for you. Hold on. You can get it at I don't know, Office Depot or wherever they sell office supplies. Get this ring, okay, and cut out small squares, small pieces of paper like this. This is what I did. Okay, punch a hole in the papers, and then take the ring and put it through like this, okay? And ta-da! You can add words to it. Every time I hear a new word, learn a new word, I write it down right away, Korean in the front and English in the back, and I keep adding to this pack of words. And then the cool thing too is once you got certain words down, you can just rip it off. Just rip it off, recycle it, of course. Recycle the paper, guys. Gotta recycle. And then you can constantly add more papers as you learn more words. So you're like recycling and learning, and it's really very convenient and it helps a lot. So flashcards are your friend. It's not just for school, you know. It can help you in life. Help you with learning Korean, because learning Korean is life. What am I saying? I don't know. Another thing I recommend, which is what I also do, is get a notebook or a journal or a diary for you to just write random things. Just use it as like a diary. I try to every week. I'll just write about how my week went, random thoughts or something. I just write it down in Korean. Write down what I want. You can even start this at the beginner level, I think, and then it'll get easier and easier as you increase your level. I'm not gonna read some of these things because it's a little embarrassing. Just flash it for you really quick. It's my personal journal. I'm gonna have you read it. It's crazy. In my other video, I also recommended getting books in Korean. For those that are working in Korea at a school, you can check out books at the school library or you can check out books at your local library. I talked about it in the last video, but I didn't actually show you some of the books that I had. A very simple book that I got as a gift, actually. 어제 마법사, or The Wizard of Oz. And these books are very nice because they're children's books, so there's a lot of pictures. You can really practice like reading and learning some new words. And I got these other books recently. I'm building my book collection. They're more like chapter books. Yeah, there's still some like pictures in it, so help you out a little bit. And then I bought this newer book to challenge myself. It's a chapter book as well, but there are no pictures in this one. Yeah, it's all straight up text. But again, take it step by step, okay? Don't like freak out and think you have to buy these books. If you're a beginner, stick with beginner level things, okay? And then intermediate, stick to intermediate level and then move up. Take your time, take your time. Okay, another tip I have is to record yourself. And I like to use my iPhone voice recorder. And this is very important because you can hear how you sound, what you need to correct or improve upon with the way you speak. Even beginners, you can start at the basic level, practicing reading Hangul. 나, 마, 파, 사, 아, 자. And then of course listen back to it. 나, 마, 파, 사, 아. And then for higher levels, intermediate levels, you can practice recording full sentences. Cater it based on your level. 저는 지금 유튜브 비디오 촬영을 하고 있습니다. 저는 지금 유튜브 비디오 촬영을 하고 있습니다. I don't know why that's funny to me. You can laugh at yourself too, because it's funny. It's funny hearing your voice, right? And this is also another tip I have, mainly for people that are probably living in Korea. Surround yourself with people that have a higher Korean level than you do. So, you know, Koreans or even other foreigner friends. Some of my foreigner friends, they're amazing at Korean. One of my close friends, Angela. Hi, Angela! Her listening is so good and she can say the right thing at the right time and she's just amazing. Like, she's my motivation. And so you gotta surround yourself with people like that if you want to get better at the language. Also, what I like to do, what keeps me motivated, is I like to watch YouTube videos or things on TV of foreigners speaking in Korean. Because I'm like, oh, I want to be like that. Like Dave, 영국 남자, Whitney, or 저는 미국 사람, or even K-pop stars that are not Korean, like Amber or Victoria from FX. Hearing other fellow foreigners that are speaking Korean gives me a lot of motivation to keep practicing too. Okay, and this is just another little tip that I have, something that I've noticed when people comment in Korean on my videos, especially the ones that are also learning Korean, they will use 반말. They won't add a yo at the end or some sort of like honorific. You have to be very mindful of the specific honorific that you have to use based on whoever you're talking to. For example, someone will comment on my video like 언니 고마워, but you need to add a yo at the end. You don't want to be using 반말 to people that you're not very close with. It's gonna get you into trouble. Don't do that. Instead, if you want to say thank you, you would say 언니. Well, okay, so I guess I'm Koreanized because I would want you to say 언니 감사합니다 or 언니 고맙습니다. No, just, I mean, like, you can say 언니 고마워요 is okay too. But make sure you're adding yo at the end of things. be mindful of certain honorific words or endings that you're supposed to be using towards people, okay? Like, you know, Koreans will probably be forgiving of you if you're a foreigner, but if you're gonna learn Korean, then might as well do it the right way, right? Just a tip. This is just a tip from my heart to yours. You're welcome. Studying Korean can definitely be a lot of fun. There's K-pop and Korean dramas, but I think if we're gonna real talk here, you really have to approach it as a study, as a discipline, because that's what it is. If you're, you know, doing a martial art, or if you're an athlete, if you're studying to get good grades in your classes, it's like that. You have to work, you have to make sacrifices. You really have to sit down for hours and study and practice, and of course not be afraid to speak. As long as you put in the work, you're gonna get the results that you want. But with time, it also takes a lot of time. You're not gonna just get it right away, okay? And that's why people give up, is because they think you're gonna learn it right away, or they set like these goals, like they want to be fluent within a certain amount of months, and my friend, it's just not gonna work like that. People will give up very easily, and then they'll never learn Korean because they already gave up so early on. And that's just what happens. If you want to learn Korean, you gotta stick to it, okay? You're gonna learn it. Just keep on keeping on. You can do it. Please like this video if this was helpful. Leave a comment. Be sure to subscribe. You know, all that jazz, all that jazz. You can follow me on Twitter, on Insta, I'm on Facebook. Let me know if you need any help, have any questions, and happy studying. Good luck.